Ghana, I was saying, you might need our penny for yes, Ramon, Mumma Dindao, and you be a baby with him, and they are papa. Not everything or anything that will come before you guys that may look like a good thing is a good thing, especially when it's coming from a foreign entity, and most especially when it's coming from the West. Yan ya kaya say be say the owa Canada was rosun. This Western people, sa abroad win. Omo dey da. Enya back when you nya 3 times. Omo dey so many times. It the update na still na your mind ho kwan. Say nkofo yen be die. Omo dey nyama bi agenda bi an initiative bi ba ana project ana something bi ba yenim. No matter that say o ade we dey ye be boa mo. But at the end of the day no omo dey be den. They are coming to use to what? Take from us rather. Why are we allowing ourselves to be manipulated? Why are we allowing ourselves to be used? I go by the name Niama, and this is Ghana First. If today is your first time coming across this content and you find value with it, please do well support by hitting the subscribe button, like the video, share the video to people who would want to see this, who need to see this, and come into the comment section. Let's vibe, let's chat, come share your opinion and your suggestion. On today's episode, we are going to react to a video by Twin Network, Mr. Saros Anan, where he's talking about an initiative that the World Bank and the World Gold Council has brought to the doorsteps of our people, of our leaders, where they are saying our people should allow some mining entities or companies to come into our country and to come mine. And by doing so, and by allowing them to do that, they are going to give our people some grants, or the country Ghana some grants, some monetary compensation. They've come disguised as an NGO, right? They've come disguised as if they want to help us. They rather want to help us, but we all know, say, this is not the first time, this is not the second time. These people, in so many cases, will come like an angel, but at the end of the day, they are the devil. They will come like a sheep, but at the end of the day, we realize, or we come to find out later that they are wolves in what? In sheepskin. So without wasting much time, let's get right into today's video.
Beneath every major national crisis lies a decision that once appeared too small to question. I repeat, beneath every major national crisis lies a decision that once appeared too small to question until it becomes big. The government of Ghana and the World Gold Council signed a memorandum of understanding under which the World Gold Council will provide $1 million in grant funding to Ghana in exchange for the country's commitment to implement internationally recognized, responsible, transparent, and environmentally sustainable small-scale mining practices, which is actually...
Wait, let me ask this. So what is $1 million to Ghana? What is $1 million to Ghana? And one on back say the mining side, the mining side, Mr. Ibrahim Muhammad. You've made a huge you are making lots of money from that small mining site. You guys are promising to build airports and build roads and build hospitals and build social amenities in that area. And during that time, I've done videos about this thing. So what is $1 million to a nation, a whole big country like Ghana like this? A country, its citizen, but just a 9 show, just 1 day show and a 1 night show. No, $1 million. Now a whole country. Obiaba say we mam 1 million now. Answer mam $1 million. Mom opinion so say you are going to implement a certain practices in your system, in your mining system. Are we young? Are we small? Are we slow to the point that basic or certain things, like things that are not necessarily that rocket science, we need others to tell us or show us the way or direct us on what to do and what not to do? Please, our leaders, you guys should be vigilant for a minute. Like at this point, you have all the history to look at to reference to. There's a lot of history there for you guys to reference to, and also, Marco school. You are educated people, right? Even if someone is educated, even if you guys don't have the formal education, more of your answer. At least more of your answer. At least more you say yo, these people, I'm gonna pay a year. Say the pay a year crap now. They have to what? They have to survive and thrive first before the what? Before they can assist us what to survive and what and thrive, which is a normal human behavior. What must say? It's a normal human behavior. Say me am tie e say me ye e say me ho tom as me nwie bia de ne ho atom. What must me gas me ho tom ye na I'm putting all my time, I'm investing time, effort and resources into someone else whilst I'm not what to do. It's a normal human behavior. And so e ba ne say ye tenase no be ba e ba ka so you be say mo implementing a certain mining practices be in your system. It's no someone implemented here say some to motivate you guys, $1 million. And does this make sense? We shouldn't be allowing ourselves to be manipulated, to be used like this. Our leaders, our people in position of power. Yes, Ramu.
Emphasized. They are a for-profit institution. It's not an NGO. They invest their money where they are likely to receive the best returns. And so, the whole idea is to get into the business of the gold supply in Ghana, in the small scale and artisanal mining industry in Ghana. They want to get in.
See, there are certain things, and we have to be very sure. There are certain things, it's not necessarily say you need someone to hold your hands and help you write or help you do. There are certain things you need to learn for yourselves. There are certain things. Okay, so nim krapuna e also share the nipa na onim yen or yen. And so you can just observe, sit behind and what and just observe and learn visually or what however you would learn it from. And you be biana and when you say you be song same and you lecture say require and now we see and now you sing and now you sing. As no it's my be
Ghana has attracted the interest of two major international institutions, namely the World Bank and the World Gold Council, into our small-scale mining industry because of the new gold structure we've instituted. Ladies and gentlemen, and these interests, which may appear harmless on face value today, may become the reason for the biggest challenges Ghana will soon face in our environment moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, beneath every major national crisis lies a decision that once appeared too small to question. I repeat, beneath every major national crisis lies a decision that once appeared too small to question until it becomes big. Ghana has two tiers of mining. We have the small-scale mining and then the large-scale mining industries. These are the two tiers the government of Ghana, through the Minerals Commission, actually provides licenses for. So it excludes galamsey. Now, we all are witnesses of what small-scale mining and galamsey is doing to our country in terms of the vegetation. We see how forests are being torn down, how rivers are heavily polluted, how the wildlife ecosystem is fastly disappearing, how rivers, for instance, are being diverted, how the health of newborn children is being affected, and even how HIV is also widely spreading at galamsey and small-scale mining sites. We see all these challenges. We haven't touched on the solutions to these problems yet. Meanwhile, we are receiving interest from international institutions to standardize the gold from the very system of mining that's creating all these problems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a problem. This is what's happening. The government of Ghana does not want to get into state mining. The government of Ghana doesn't want to carry the responsibility of doing proper mining and the responsibility of managing a mining operation. And so the government of Ghana is hiding behind small-scale mining companies with money to fund their operation. The government of Ghana has become the proxy in this instance. The government of Ghana is now funding small-scale mining companies in two major ways. It's either they provide the funding for the mining operations and receive over 45% in gold discount. Yeah, as we are allegedly told, or they buy the gold from the small-scale miners after the small-scalers fund their own operations. Either way, the government is actually funding the small-scale mining operations, ladies and gentlemen. Now, instead of the government going all out to stop all forms of illegal mining that's actually causing us so much in terms of value of our environment, they aren't. Instead of the government of Ghana, first of all, resetting the small-scale mining industry like they promised and phasing out galamsey operations, they are rather sponsoring small-scale miners to ensure continuous gold supply to the gold board. And now you have foreign entities who want to also participate in what's going on in the gold industry in Ghana. They are showing interest. They've realized how much the government is making.
So I've realized something about our leaders, our people, which is interesting. From everything, from the happenings, from their actions, from their decisions, you can realize and you notice these were greedy people, right? You notice our leaders, or most of our leaders, they are greedy people. But I think their priorities in terms of like being greedy is misplaced. They have misplaced priorities in terms of like being greedy and stealing. Right? Why do I say this? So, as a government, we would want to steal from your people. Why don't you just do a state-owned mining company and mine the gold by yourself, and then after mining the gold and making all that profit for yourself, right? As compared to you allowing someone to come mine the gold and then you have to share the profits with the person. Why don't you just mine this gold by yourself with a state-owned mining company and make all this profit, and then you come tell the people that, yo, my people, at the end of the day, there's the amount of gold we're able to mine from this site, right? So we're able to mine like 10 bars of gold. Meanwhile, you've mined, or you've been able to produce maybe 20 bars of gold. So with that one, you've stolen 10 bars of gold from the people or from the states, right? But rather, you allow someone to come mine the gold. And after the person mining 20 bars of gold or producing 20 bars of gold, the person comes to you and tells you that he or she has mined only 10 bars of gold. And then you have to share the 10 bars of gold with this foreign person. So that means you guys are going to share it 5-5, right? That means you, as the government, you've gotten just 5 bars of gold, right? Okay. You then come back to the people and tell the people that, well, the people were able to mine 10. The people were able to mine maybe, let's say, 8. So we shared it maybe 4-4. So then the government has stolen, or this politician is stolen just a bar of gold from the state. Compare this scenario, or compare this situation to the government mining by itself with a state-owned company and mining 20 bars of gold and keeping 10 and presenting 10 to the people that this was the amount, this is the number of bars of gold we're able to mine, which is 10 bars of gold. So that means if the state should mine this gold by themselves, they will be able to steal 10 bars of gold, as compared to allowing a foreign entity to mine this gold. They will be able to just steal a bar of gold or 1 bar, across maybe 2 bars of gold. If you are using this analogy, if you are using this situation or example, it's known that it looks like you guys, it's either say your greediness, you are misplacing where you should be greedy to, or how you guys should be greedy to, or you are not smart. You guys think you are smart, but you guys are not smart. Mathematics, yeah, it's either say more smart. You guys are slow. You guys are dumb. It's not even American. Most of you guys are myopic thinkers. Honestly speaking, so there's this thing. Air cost, like in Kumabi air cost. This is how it goes. You see everywhere there's corruption happening, like everywhere there's corruption happening in every government around the world. Not only in Africa is corruption happening. Local Asia corruption cost, even the China, even West, in the West, corruption air cost, major corruption scandals and air cost war. USA corruption crap where air cost war. but their form of corruption or their way of stealing or being corrupt, they are doing any book nyansa, any fee nyansa, any account, big time without even the people noticing. Say, okay, this so and so people are stealing from us. But Ghana and Africa corruption there, easy to identify. So this corruption, this stealing, this cheating, this mismanagement of state funds. It's easy because I buy loan every IMF and a World Bank or share boss or castle or person $10 loan from IMF and World Bank or buy I buy this World Bank $80 pay. Meanwhile, World Bank they so castle mama I buy Ghana buy $10, but buy no share boss and or castle person $10. No baba say man $80 pay. Okay, I jatu. Yaman see Jimmy, Gajia too. By invitation no castle $10 on bear coin. Only $10 in your bear coin. By how the $8 spend the buy. Yatiasi. $8 now they buy no. One man contractor $2. One contractor $2. So contractor so be I can you must say $2 spend on the item. O the man. Also check say woman contractor $5. Yaman zanu see Jimmy $3 now mumu keep no more the year then. O the man say Jimmy also woman contractor $5. Okay. Contractor so check say woman $2. Etno sa ska piece na free. $10 na mo share say na mo cast mo ko jia ba dia be kwan. Say can ya fine. It is easy to identify say you people are criminals, you people are thieves, and my own say like you guys are slow, you guys are dumb. You are not smart enough in stealing, in terms of stealing or cheating or mismanaging or like stealing from the state. You guys are not smart about it too.
From this gold, the small scale, they've realized how the government is not chasing them for loans like before, all because of this new gold policy. And so they want to partake in the spoil. Just this 21st July 2026, the government of Ghana and the World Gold Council signed a memorandum of understanding, under which the World Gold Council will provide $1 million in grant funding to Ghana
1 million
in exchange for the country's commitment to implement internationally recognized, responsible, transparent, and environmentally sustainable small-scale mining practices, which is actually a facade, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to show you how. They actually announced an initial $250,000 upfront payment to the government of Ghana at the point of the sign of this MOU. And then following this incident, you have the Global Environment Facility, GEF, which is representing the World Bank, also show up in Ghana with interest in the same small-scale mining operations. They are also coming with another grant of $13.94 million. For what exactly? Ladies and gentlemen, you need to hear this.
Almost say they want to help us in terms of our small scale mining enterprise or industry, right? By educating us or teaching us how to environmentally and sustainably like the right way mine the gold without destroying our environment and then our ecosystem, right? Our lands and not polluting our water bodies and all that, right? Okay. So, sir, why do they feel the need to add money to it? Mumbi some this simple question. Say me my ye if me sikani not some person me mentor obia, right? Me person me mentor obi, right? I believe even if I want to like I believe mentoring is not the rich man going to the poor man and telling the poor man that I want to mentor you. No, I don't think that's how it works. I believe it works this way. It's the poor man or the up and coming young person or young man or not well to do person climbing up the ladder to the rich man or to the well to do person and tell the well to do person that, oh, I've seen you've passed through this journey before, you've been through this journey before, so mentor me to also what get to your level or what surpass your level. What must I say? I believe that's how it works, right? I don't think it goes vice versa. Like it's the vice versa of it. Say scaling money remember poor person is a person mentor. You have to joke man and say okay 1 in a million is sister. The SIS no. This same rich man SR insists say opeso this car like opeso on one resources SR come out. Bro, Why do you want? Isn't this too good to be true? Doesn't this sound too good to be true? Say this so-called World Bank and now World Gold Council for say, oh, you mine the gold without destroying your environment, but yeah, you crop. Yes, this council here, yes, I pay more so. Yes, the resources, yes, I pay more so. Does this make sense? Isn't this too good to be true? Oh my Ghana, you're paying for Mundri or Mundri. Yes, Ramon.
This is what I described earlier. On the face value, their purpose looks harmless. It looks like they care about the environmental situation of Ghana and they are genuinely trying to help us. But that is not the case. And so they have packaged all of that information in a beautiful language. When you read through the reasons for why they are providing these grants, you see stuff like restoring degraded mining lands, reducing environmental damage, promoting mercury-free mining, and strengthening state institutions that regulate artisanal and small-scale mining. You also see other great reasons, such as standardizing responsible small-scale mining practices, improving traceability of gold, strengthening environmental and safety standards, building the capacity of licensed small-scale.
Wait, one of their reasons to help us is to help us trace the gold. Like how? So, how can I say click what you say? There been a form from the bois, scenario environment in the end say. Say a bit more money in a way that it won't pollute our water bodies and all that. But about the same almost they want to also help us in tracing, I mean in terms of like finding gold. Like in terms of small scale miners maybe mining gold and move be another. And also form of home say I did not say okay, you say a family, right? A father is in a house. Now say the area no coinsa. I don't think say it makes sense if a foreign person, somebody outside of the family will come to your father and go like, papa, but some boss now bet you on so move your coins. Like it doesn't make sense to me, honestly speaking. I think even if such a thing will happen, I believe it's the father announcing the call to a foreign person or someone outside the family and go like, my children have been stealing from me, but I want you to come and help me to be able to see who is stealing the coins. I don't think it's the other way around. Say, what's one who has not one and I will be about saying, but some one watching one now move your coins.
Miners and supporting the formalization of artisanal and small-scale mining sector. But ladies and gentlemen, all of that I said is a facade. That is not why they are giving us this money. They are a for-profit institution. It's not an NGO. They invest their money where they are likely to receive the best returns. And so, the whole idea is to get into the business of the gold supply in Ghana, in the small scale and artisanal mining industry in Ghana. They want to get in. They are looking for supply. They want gold, ladies and gentlemen. They know the small scale mining industry produces almost 40% of Ghana's total gold, which is a significant number. That is why they are showing interest, ladies and gentlemen. And so, what's going to happen in Ghana in the coming years is this. Small-scale miners who are mining the wrong way, including the good way, and the galamsey industry, is rather going to go out of control. It is going to get intensified. These guys are showing interest with money that's disguised as free, but actually a door opener kind of money to establish a relationship in that industry. These incoming grants are what I term as money for the gatekeepers, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is going to change about how mining is done in this country because this grant money is coming. They are bringing in their money because they need supply. And because they need supply, we must start producing more. That is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, nothing is going to change about how mining is done in this country because the grant money is not actually meant to change anything like they actually stated in their reasons. It's rather to open doors for new buyers to join in the spoil. So, ladies and gentlemen, what they will do, the government of Ghana will do is, from time to time, you hear of a few trees being planted on some mining sites and reclamations being done in other places so that pictures can be taken on record that that the money went into what it was meant for. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, the greater chunk of that money will end up in politicians and gatekeepers' pockets, and nothing will change on the field because that is not the agenda. Things are going to get even worse in the galamsey business moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Once these foreign institutions have taken interest in what we do, and they are talking about standardizing the operations in Ghana and bringing traceability to the gold, ladies and gentlemen, they are simply going to make a pathway for galamseyers to now have their gold internationally recognized, which means there is now going to be a lot more pressure in the industry to produce more and to supply more gold, which is going to destroy everything that we have in Ghana. The forest, the wildlife, everything in its path, the rivers, they are about to destroy all of them. There are only two ways to handle Ghana's artisanal and small-scale mining industry that can actually bring sanity to what they do. Listen to this. The first approach is to change the law on small-scale licenses. You change it, shut every one of them down, visit every mining site that has been granted a mining lease, both in the past and now, those working now, and do an environmental impact analysis on their concessions. Yeah, one mining company at a time, and allow for the ramifications of the laws to apply no matter who they are if they are caught in the wrong, and make it public on TV. This is my first approach. This will be my first approach, and I know the government cannot put this to practice because the new money they are receiving from these miners are just too sweet to deny. And they cannot afford to even consider this approach because it will flip the country's economy over to a worse state. Small scale and artisanal gold, their money has now become the government of Ghana's bread and butter, if you didn't know. My second approach is to have the state now go into mining commercially. As a state, you cannot afford to lose this stream of income, which is true, the gold money, and so concessions. Yeah, one scale and artisanal gold, their money has now become the government of Ghana's bread and butter, if you didn't know. My second approach is to have the state now go into mining commercially. As a state, you cannot afford to lose this stream of income, which is true, the gold money. And so, this will be my approach. The state takes up the challenge to go into mining itself, to be a miner.
Honestly speaking, Mr. Sarasanan, you have been championing this state-owned mining thing, and it seems it fallen on deaf ears. I also have been seconding you. Not only me, I believe most Ghanaians believe in this initiative or this agenda where the state needs to enter into the mining industry and all that. But I don't know. I think now we should find a different way to communicate our message. I don't know whether if protest or something like we go on demonstration or something. I don't know what we should do now, right? Because it seems it's falling on deaf ears. It seems these people, they might be hearing us, but they are not working with it, with whatever we are saying, and they also know that what we are saying is true. That's the right way to go, but they've chose not to do it because they are evil people. They don't have the interest of the people at heart. They don't think about us. They don't care about us. So I think we'll end it here. I go by the name Niyama, and this is Ghana First. Remember to hit the subscribe button, like and share the video. Come to the comment section, come share your opinion and your suggestion. Also do remember to go hit on Tuntum Network by Mr. Sarasanan, right? So you get back-to-back content from us, and also get back other content from this channel in particular. Hope to catch you on the next episode. I'm out.